in need of a great deal of knowledge. And this is something that is the underlining point here behind covering these narrations, is that al-ilmu bila adab la manfa'ata fih, is that knowledge without al-adab, without proper etiquette and character, has no benefit. The Shaykh Muhammad ibn Umar Baazmul, he said in his 4th lesson in his book Mu'amalatul Ulama, he said, Al-adabu ma'al ulama, having proper character with the ulama. He said, احترام العلماء وتوقيرهم وتعظيمهم من حقوقهم التي يجب علينا مراعاتها حتى قيل يعامل العلماء كمعاملة الخلفاء يعني في الأدب معهم. He said that respecting the ulama and giving them dignified treatment and honoring them is from their rights that are mandatory for us to safeguard. To the extent that it has been said that dealing with the ulama is like dealing with the khulafa. That dealing with the ulama is like dealing with the khulafa, like dealing with the rulers. That dealing with the ulama is like dealing with the khulafa, meaning just as a person would respect the person who is the most powerful man in the country, that a person should respect the alim. That a person, he should respect the alim, just as he would respect the ruler. He said, and he quoted a statement from one of the Salaf, and he said that the worst of people to belittle are 3. And he said the rulers, the Salatin, and the Ikhwan, and the brothers, not al-Ikhwan and Muflisun, but he said al-Ikhwan, meaning one's brothers, one's close friends, wal-ulama, and also the people of knowledge. And this statement in reality is close to the statement of Abdullah bin al-Mubarak. He said, rahimahullah, man astakhafa bil-umara dhahabat dunyahu, that whoever puts the umara, the rulers, down, he will lose his dunya. Wa man astakhafa bil-ikhwan dhahabat muru'atuhu, and whoever puts his brothers down, he will lose his respect. People won't respect this person. وَمَنْ أَسْتَخَفَ بِالْعُلَمَاءِ ذَهَبَ دِينُهُ, and the person who puts down the ulama, then he loses his religion. As was reported by Imam Ahmad and was stated as a statement of Ibn Jarir al-Tabari, and was attributed to many of the Salaf, they used to say, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنْ لُحُومَ الْعُلَمَاءِ مَسْمُومَةً. He used to say, know that the flesh of the ulama is poison. Meaning, to speak negatively about the ulama is something that will kill a person's heart. It will cause a person to die in his heart and for his soul to be destroyed while his body is still alive on the earth. The Shaykh, he said, ويروى عن علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله تعالى عنه أنه قال, and it was reported from Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, that he said, من حق العالم عليك, from the right of the alim upon you, أن تسلم على القوم عامة وتخصه دونهم بالتحية. He said, from the right of the alim, of the scholar upon you, is that you give the salam to the people in general, and you specify him with greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayka ya Shaykh. That you give the salam to the people in general, and you give him a specific greeting, and you greet him in particular. وَأَن تَجْلِسَ أَمَامَهُ, and that you sit in front of him. Meaning that the scholar, as he's advising the people or giving fatwa or giving a dars, giving a class, that is from bad character, and it's against the understanding and the practice of the Salaf to sit behind him. To sit behind him without a cause, without any just cause. وَلَا تُشِيرَنَّ عِنْدَهُ بِيَدِكَ, and don't point at him with your hand. Ya akhi, subhanAllah, where's the Shaykh? It's right there. Don't do that. He said, and you don't point at him or motion towards him with your hand, like that. And another narration says you don't point your finger at him. You don't point your finger at the Shaykh. This is from bad character, to point your hand or your finger at one of the people of knowledge. He said, وَلَا تَغْمَزَنَّ بِعَيْنَيْكَ, and that you don't make gestures with your eyes towards the Shaykh. Don't wink at the Shaykh. Don't, raise your eyebrows at the Shaykh. Don't do gestures with your eyeballs to the Shaykh, to the scholar. وَلَا تَقُولَنَّ قَالَ فُلَانٌ خِلَافًا لِقَوْلِهِ. Allah. He said, and you don't say to the scholar, when the scholar says something, that so-and-so said different than what you said. That so-and-so said different than what you said. And the Imam Ibn Abdul Barr, in his book, Jami'ul Bayan fi al-ilmi wa fadlihi, his beautiful book, one of the most comprehensive books that was ever written about the virtue of the ulama and the etiquettes of knowledge, and the etiquettes of the ulama and the etiquettes of those who are seeking knowledge. He has a number of narrations. He has a number of narrations from the Salaf in that regard. And the Shaykh Abdul Rahman As-Sa'adi, he mentioned that the person who was a student of a scholar, was learning from the scholar and is a student of the scholar, if he wants to bring the attention of the Shaykh to a different viewpoint, perhaps he thinks that there is a stronger viewpoint than the viewpoint that the Shaykh is upon, then he should do so bi-altaf al-ibarat. He should do so with the most subtle of phrasing, out of respect with the Shaykh, that he shouldn't come right out and say in front of everybody, what about Shaykh al-Albani has a position that says such and such and such and such? What about al-alim al-fulani or Shaykh al-fulani fi al-balad al-fulaniya, and such a scholar, such and such a Shaykh in such and such a land? I asked him and he told me different. But this is bad adab with the ulama. That the people, they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. It's not from good character with the ulama. It's not from good character with the ulama. And if you want to bring such a thing to his attention, then don't do it in front of the people. Don't do that in front of the people, but talk to the Shaykh afterwards and ask him about that. And use adab with the Shaykh in what you say. He said, Ali, he said, وَلَا تَغْتَبَنَّ عِنْدَهُ أَحَدًا, and don't backbite anybody to the Shaykh. And don't backbite anybody to the Shaykh. Shaykh, what do you say about a brother that wears a gray thobe, who right now he's wearing a red and white imama, and he wears a size 11 sneaker, and he says such and such and such and such, yeah, Shaykh, or he did such and such and such and such. Don't backbite anybody to the Shaykh. Look at your niyyah and what you say. This is something that will prevent a lot of fitna. It will prevent a lot of fitna, the people not wasting the time of the ulama with the qeel and the qal, but rather if some nasiha has to be done, that is done with wisdom and is done with a correct method. He said, وَلَا تَسَارَّ فِي مَجْلِسِهِ, and don't behave too happy. Don't act too happy in the sitting of the Shaykh. Doesn't mean a person should sit around frowning, crying, in the sitting of the Shaykh, but rather a person at the same time, he shouldn't be busting jokes with his brothers in front of the Shaykh. High-fiving his brother, laughing and rolling around the floor, laughing in a loud voice, in front of the Shaykh. Because this is something that is saw by the people of knowledge to be a lack of good manners with the ulama. He said, وَلَا تَأْخُذْ بِثَوْبِهِ, and don't take and hold fast to the thobe of the Shaykh. The Shaykh, if you're trying to get his attention, don't tug on the Shaykh. Sorry, Shaykh. Don't tug on the Shaykh's clothes. Don't pull on the Shaykh. He said,